So everything's alright inside. Oh, every moment. I know that it is a blessing. It's been a long time. I'm blessed, old man. As far as I can. Brian McDuffie. Hey, man, how you doing? Vera Smalls. Brian, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Hey, Vera. Every morning, I rise and stare at the sun. Hey. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you're coming on right now, listen, tag some men in this, tag some brothers in this, tag some, yeah. Hey, Donna, how you doing? Javon Wesley, how you doing, sir? I got a little bit of one of my favorite reggae artists playing right now, and his name is Chronix. Oh, every morning, Jamaica Fanes. God bless you. Donna, God bless you. Got a subject I want to talk to you about. Vera asks, how's my queen? My queen is fine. Hey, mama. Hey, mama. Sugar Smacks. That's a funny name right there. God bless you. God bless you. Far as I can. All right. All right. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Listen. God bless you all. God bless you all. This is Pastor Fred Gooden. I am the pastor or one of the pastors of Unity Church Charlotte, along with my wife, Jamila Young Gooden, and AP Deloria Minor. We are the pastors of Unity Church Charlotte. Glory to God. My wife, y'all know who she is, the wonderful, the anointed, the dynamic. She is Apostle Jamila Young Gooden. She is my wife. You can see her every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Times on CCM. We thank God for you. Hey, Sister CC, how are you doing? God bless you. I think I seen Will just come up the timeline. Thank God for you. Look like I'm seeing Caldwell. We thank God for you. We thank God for everybody that is coming on right now. Listen, got a subject I want to talk to you about. And the subject is you taking care of everybody else. But what are you doing for you? Just a little subject I want to talk with the men this week right here before I get into it. Again, ladies, if you would, click, tag, and share some of the men, some of the young men that are on your timeline. Bernard, what's going on, son? God bless you, man. You know what? I seen your inbox, man. I forgot to get with you on that, but I know God worked that thing out for you good. You take care of others, but what about you? Just want to talk to that subject. It's been a minute, and there's a lot going on right now. But I'm telling you right now, this year, as this year goes on, there's content that I'll be working with. I'll be working with other people on God's Man on Deck, doing the man-to-man. And there's going to be a lot of conversations. I'll have dual screens on where I'll be talking to some of these anointed men of God that you want to hear from. And some of them you haven't heard from and don't know, but these men are anointed and they're made for this time. You take care of others, but what about you? I found myself just on this subject. I found myself not having a crisis of sort, but I found myself after my divorce. After my divorce, I found myself trying to find out who I was, what my identity is, who was I outside of everything I had made myself, the identity of who I was as the man of God in the church, who I was as the family man, and now detached from all these things. And I thank God for my wife, Jamila. I thank God for her because God used her. Rufus, how you doing, man? God gonna continue to bless you, Rufus. All you got to do is keep doing what you're doing. Don't go to the right. Don't go to the left. Don't let the enemy stop you at all from doing exactly what he told you to do. It is, Rufus, it is important that you stick with the way that God is telling you to do things, son, and you're going to be successful. But let me say this again. I found myself after, I come out from this divorce, come out of this life that I've been knowing for years, that trying to find out who I was. And now, men, I want you to hear this, because for some of you, and this necessarily doesn't mean a divorce have to happen for you to get here. What I'm want to talk to you about today, that it's important that your identity be stable within yourself and that your happiness be stable within yourself. I was challenged. I have grown children. I got 6 grown children that I am thankful for. Hey, Roy, how you doing? Proud of all of them, in every way. But as God had begun to free me and take me where He wanted to take me, as God began to move me in different places, as God began to transition me out of what people see me in the norm, I look different to people now, and I look and honestly, a lot of it was because I was locked into a world that I built around me because of what I thought. And it's not necessarily bad, but men, I need you to hear me today. You have to make sure while you're taking care of everybody else that you don't fall into a role and become a person that God did not mean for you to become. One thing that happens to, and this ain't every man, but this is some of you that are building homes right now. Some of you young men that are in relationships right now. Some of you young men that might be married right now. You have to be careful right now of how you're building your world, because what happens is you really never know what's going to happen to you. So you have to be true to who you are. Now, this is the thing about me. When I gave my life to the Lord, I didn't, and my wife had to make me realize that I didn't have a leader. So when I gave my life to the Lord, I didn't have an example. When I say example, there really was nobody as a father figure to me. And the people that were spiritual, they really could not be father figures, if I could say that. Even looking back, the more you look back, especially as God takes you forward, the more you look back, you say, man, I really didn't have the KD. What's going on, man? That's going to be one of the brothers that's going to be talking with us. But as I look back, I didn't have the examples that I needed to have to show me what type of man I was supposed to be. So when I digested the Bible, I digested the Bible listen, word for word, line upon line, and precept upon precept. I digested the word like that. So I digested the word according exactly what it says, which can be ignorant and it can put you in the wrong place. And if you do that for years, you become something that you never intended to be. And the thing about it is that I thought I was happy. When I look at my pictures now, when I look at me and my wife now, when I look at myself on pictures now, when I see myself, I'm like, man, I don't look like I used to look. And it's because there is an inner happiness in you that you have to chase. There's an inner happiness in you that you got to be a part of. No matter what type of man you are, if you are a man and you're doing everything for everybody else, and you're doing everything according to everyone else's happiness, and you're not in the equation of the happiness, you'll lose yourself. You'll become something like what you want to be. I became something like I want to be. Are you understanding what I'm saying? It is so important for some of you men right now that is listening to me. And I'm talking about whether you call yourself a Christian, whether you call yourself a believer, whether you don't call yourself a Christian. I'm not mad about how God built me, because where I was the grounds that God built me on. But when my life changed and God expanded and God changed and now he give me this wonderful wife and change everything around me, and I'm looking different and I'm happy, and everyone is kind of looking, not everyone is sad, but at the same time, who is that? And they're asking, who is it? Because I was the one that wasn't as happy as I thought. Some of you got a chance to change some things while you're in this marriage. Some of you got a chance to change some things while you're in this relationship. Some of you have a chance to change some things right now. You take care of everybody else, but are you in the equation? You take care of everybody else, but are you really happy? Is the smile on your face really genuine? Because sometimes we can do stuff and we can do it because we can do it because we're supposed to do it. My home, my natural father wasn't in it. So because my natural father wasn't in it, I built my own example of what it was supposed to look like. So in me building my own example as a man, Katie, what I did was, Caldwell, I did everything that I thought I needed to do to become what my father wasn't. But I was doing everything to become what my father wasn't, but I was doing it according to a pattern that I never knew. So there was a pattern that was set for me, but it was empty. There was really nothing there. So I'm trying to be everything that I'm supposed to be without a pattern. What's going on, Frederick? So now I need to be the husband. I need to be the father. I need to be the preacher, because that's it's a part of my personality. It's who I am. And that may not be all of you, but for me, that was a part. So I have these identities all balled up into one, but guess who's left out of it? The who's left out of the equation? It's me. I'm left out of the equation. It's my happiness. I'm left out of the equation, because so it's not like, now listen to me, because sometimes when people hear this, they begin to feel bad and they begin to look and it's like, well, dog, he wasn't never happy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if I really had me involved to the level that I was supposed to be involved, then I probably wouldn't have stayed in certain situations as long, because I know that my happiness wasn't where it was supposed to be at. But I was going off of a pattern that I didn't know, that I had no idea existed. I was trying to do something. And listen, successful. Because now listen to this. Just because something is fruitful doesn't mean that you're still in the equation that it needs to be. Nothing was broken around me. I was taking care of everything, but I wasn't in the right position in my heart as a man. So then God changes things. And see, a lot of times we're not ready for what life brings us 20 years later. We're not ready. We're not ready for what life brings us 30 days later. We're not ready. We're not ready. So life changes, and then you're not ready for the change, and you're not ready for the change. Hey, Sister Gina, you're not ready for the change because you never knew what the pattern was supposed to look like. I was a father that never had the pattern of a father. So in me never having the pattern of a father, guess what I'm going to try to be? I'm going to try to be the most perfect father that I could be. And I was, and I did it with everything in me, took care of everything and everybody within me. But I was out of the equation. But guess what starts to happen to you when you're out of the equation and you're taking care of everybody else? You start to fade. You fade to black. It's like that you come in at the end of the movie. The whole movie is about somebody else, but you only come in at the credits. And you don't even come in as the director. You don't come in as the producer or the writer. You just come in one that's fading to black. And what I'm going to tell you this evening is beautiful in this beautiful place that I am, is that I don't care whether you're a preacher, I don't care if you're a bishop, I don't care whether you're just a father, I don't care where you at. You can't make another person happy when you're not really happy yourself. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible to become something. Because when I look at myself, I'm like, dang. And when I look at some of my older, I was truly smiling. Yeah, I thought I was genuinely smiling. I'm saying this because I preached a sermon last week. I preached a sermon last week. It was sort of a testimonial, and it was me in a dark place, and yeah, some folk got upset, and it's easy to get upset with somebody without context. It's easy to get upset when you're really not giving context. And let's just face it, we live in a society, in a social media society, that is not really good to always give all context, because no matter what you say, it's going to be taken wrong by somebody anyway. But it was about me. It was about me. And the question was, well, dog, was he ever really happy? And yeah, I was quite happy. I just didn't know that my happiness didn't have a lot of me in it. I was quite happy. I just didn't know that a lot of the happiness that I did have, a lot of my happiness, Caldwell, didn't have me in it. So when somebody really made me smile, and somebody really made me laugh, and it didn't have nothing to do with the church, it didn't have nothing to do with what I was doing with them, it was, man, you all right. It was different. So this is for some of you, and what I'm giving some of you right now. Listen, man, listen. Listen, you that are getting up to go to work every day. Listen, you that are building businesses right now. Listen, you that has the family that you're taking care of. Listen, man, listen. Because one day, you might, see, I'm blessed. See, the Bible says that all things work together for the good to them that love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. God showed me faithfulness with that. He made himself faithful because he didn't allow me to stay in a situation where I thought I knew what happiness was. My daddy, my real daddy, Jehovah, he said, my son really doesn't know what really happiness is. So when my life began to switch, he said, I'm going to make sure my son knows what real happiness is. So when I began to experience what real happiness was, people were looking at me crazy because I was no longer living to the standards that I built up from a pattern and an example that I just begin to put together because of the word. Bible says it like this. The Bible says that the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. Can I give you a truth? That a lot of what we're living out of is the letter and not the life of the letter. A lot of what we're living out of is the topical, the top of the word, and not the inside of it, not the spirit of it. And we've put together this world according to the letter. And we're living according to the letter. Let me mess somebody up. You probably gonna get mad at me because this will mess with your religious rules. A lot of what you're calling holiness according to the letter is bondage that's killing you, and the reason why you're not happy. Now, what that means to me is something else. I like what Katie said. There's supposed to be life in the letter, not legalism in the letter. So even my love and the way that I raised and the way that I moved was according to the letter, because all I knew, I had given my life to God in 1997, and all I had knew was everything around me was thugs. Men that I did look up to had passed inside. We had a couple of men that I did look up to. They passed in the street. So when I do come in contact with the men, guess who I came in contact with? I came in contact with pastors. My first pastor was a warlock. My second pastor, don't even want to talk about that. We ain't get along. We ain't get along for a long time. My third one, the one that did raise me for a while, he had a problem with his hands. He didn't know how to keep his hands off his wife. So where was my example? So I'm trying to be the best that I can be. And what happens when you're trying to be the best that you can be with no real example? You can become something and someone that one day you don't recognize. But I'm so glad that God lifted me. I'm so glad. I'm strange now. I preach the word in season and out of season. I've been instant all my life. I've never rejected God. I've always ran every time he told me to run, speak when he told me to speak, and loved it. Loved it. But I thought I was a peculiar person. Huh? That's what he says to us in Peter. He said, you're strange and peculiar people. He said, you're a royal priesthood. He says, we're strange and we're peculiar because what we figure out and what we know according to not according to the leaflets of a book. We know according to a spirit that's in the sky. What we know is not according to the leaflets, just the leaflets in the book. It's according to the spirit that's in the sky. And I thank God that God brought a woman in my life to make me realize that I've been living so long according to the leaflets that I wasn't in it. I'm sad that a lot of people are upset. I'm sad that a lot of people can't recognize me, but I'm happy that I'm here, Caldwell. Harose Shanto. I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that I did not work to the end of my days and go to a casket becoming a man that really had a smile. But it really wasn't real. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. That means that if it's a marriage, what I need to tell you, sir, is that it need to be real. If it's your marriage, it need to be real. If it's with your children, don't show them something just for them to see the good side of you. And then they don't recognize who you are. You got to keep it 100 all the time. And the question that I want to force someone to ask tonight, man, am I really happy? Is your happiness important? Because you need to answer the question for yourself. Where is your happiness in this? Because you matter. You matter. And this is the thing. You don't get a crown. There's a crown. There's a crown. And there's 5 crowns. In Revelations, there's 5 crowns. And one of the crowns is the crown of self-denial. Now, for you to get the crown of self-denial, it cannot be because you decided to do something for religious sake. It has to be done because it was something out of your heart. It cannot be a crown of self-denial that you did it out of ignorance. In other words, what if I had Gone to glory. Or one day I had gone to glory, but I went to glory before God showed me what true happiness was, right? This is what will happen. I'm going to give you the crown of self-denial, but I want to tell you, son, I didn't mean for you to die like that. I meant for you to know what true happiness was. I meant for you to know what it is. Because there are young men right now that are attached to something, and you're attached to it because you think you need to stay attached to it because of the responsibilities. And honestly, what you're attached to ain't gonna be able to go where you're going. If I have gotten to God, gotten to him, and experienced him, he would have said, son, you making it in, but I wanted you to know, I really wanted you to be more happier than you are. I really wanted you to experience life. He would have said to me, he says, can I give you back the book that you live by? Yes, Lord, you can give me back the book. I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly. I came that you might have life and have life more abundantly. I want to tell somebody that when you begin to put you in the equation, everybody's not going to understand it. When you begin to put you in the equation, and this is for men and women, I want men to wake up, but I know there are women on here too. When you put you in the equation, because you have not been the one that's important and you made sure everything and everybody else was important, when you begin to put you in the equation, everybody ain't gonna be with you. When you begin to put you in the equation and you're a little more happier now, you're a little more stable now, you're a little more loving now, when you begin to put you in the equation, it's going to be a problem, but you got to be ready for it. This is the God that you serve. See, the God that you serve, he desires that you might have life and have more abundantly. You hear that? You hear that? Those are crickets. He desires that you be able to sit outside and have peace, and have a peace that surpasses all understanding, because your mind is not overran by everything that has nothing to do with you. I tried to stay in control of so many things that I had no control over. I tried to be committed to things that even my commitment wasn't going to be able to solve. Some of you, God is going to give you a second chance. And he's saying to somebody tonight that's in the situations that, listen, I allowed this to come forward to let you know, I know you're taking care of everybody else, but where are you in this equation? Are you happy? Where are you in this equation? Somebody asked me to pray for the kids. I'll do that at the end of this. Where are you in this, sir? My brother. Where are you in this? See, you don't get no points. We were taught dumb junk. You don't get no points for just staying in something and dying in something. There's something that really gets to me. An example that somebody was telling me about their father, and how their father was in this, how their father died, and that he took care of everybody, and it kind of creeps me out, because the father died and they were in this relationship, and the father died, and when he died, the whole testimony was about what he'd done for everybody else. The whole testimony was about what he'd done for everybody else. But when you look at him, there was nothing that spoke about him. In other words, I want my life to be at a point where people say he was selfless. I want people to know, I want people to say that he wasn't a selfish man. I want people to be able to say that he was a good father, that he was, I want my wife to be able to say he was a good husband. I want my loved ones to be able to say he was a good brother, my friends to say he was a good brother. But in that, I want them to be able to say that man was a happy man, and that man made everybody around him happy. What's going on? What's going on, Mac Randolph? Because honestly, everybody that's taking what's going on, Corey, everybody that's handling business and taking care of business, and every father that's doing it, he's really not happy. Get back to what's real. Get back. Time is the only thing you can't get back. It's the only thing that you'll never, you can never, you can not. Now, the Lord allows us to redeem the time, but chronos you can't get back. Can't turn that clock back. He'll allow you to catch up. He'll allow you to accomplish. But the chronos, he can't turn back. So I'm not mad about the years past. I'm more wise now. And what I want to say to some of you brothers that are listening today, you know why you're so angry? You know why your testosterone is on high? Because, man, you ain't happy. You know why you always about to pop when you come home? You ain't happy. And you got to find out why. I ain't got that answer. Because for a lot of us, the reasons vary. It could be in relationships. It could be a job. I don't know. It can be a lot of things, but you have to find out why. To some young lady tonight, you got reasons why, you ain't happy. You got to find out why. Listen. The Lord done put everything in our hand. He put everything in our way. He gave us the ability to be able to do, and he put all favor. Everything is lined up for us. Why? I know you're taking care of everybody else. Are you in this equation? Is your home at peace? Is your life at peace? I hate that my example upset people. I hate that I hate that some people, because I don't care about it. I don't care what everybody think now. Let me say this right. I hate that some people look and they say, well, dang, was he? But at the same time, this is what I came to. Y'all ready? Real simple. Because before I say that, this is one thing that the Lord told me to do as a minister in the gospel. He said, I ain't designed you no more to try to go make the deep simple. He said, I desire for you to go and take the simple and deepen the simple. In other words, let's stop trying to be so heavy and let's focus on what's right in our face. This is what I have come to. I matter. My happiness matters. My life matters. And that means from this time forward, the happiness that I'm responsible for, I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm going to be responsible for making my wife happy, making myself happy. I can't be responsible for anybody else's happiness. I matter. And some of you, if you point to yourself tonight and you said that, something in you will move in you and tell you that you really don't matter like you say you do. You have to point to yourself tonight to say, I matter. This is my life. I'm cutting this out. I'm cutting that out. No, you can't get no more money. No, you can't stay with me no more. No, we can't be together no more. It's done. I ain't got to do that no more. No, I'm not finna stay in this because everybody think we supposed to stay together. I'm not finna keep this going. No, I matter. And let me tell you about you mattering. When you begin to say you matter, people are going to say you're selfish. There are going to be people that are going to have all types of opinions about you. But if you don't love you at the end of the day, who will? Because this is the thing. Nobody really loves a person that don't love themselves. The biggest opinions I heard is, he's so different now. He's so different now. The difference is I matter. The difference is it's my life. The difference is, yeah, I'm living the Bible and I'm living the word, but I put my happiness in front of it. And now the conversation that me and God has, indeed, it's a conversation like I never heard before. And more people are healed because I'm happy. How many of you are messengers, but you're really not happy? I had a friend of mine tell me this, and I'm getting ready to go. He called me. He was like, man, congratulations. I love to see, man, when I see you in pictures, love to see you smiling, you and your bride. I'm so thankful for you, and God, you know, just going on and on. And he says, man, I look at you, and he says, man, I ain't trying to be funny. He says, but man, I look back at a lot of your lives. He says, I used to say to myself, man, why he so upset? It's crazy. I mean, this is real talk. This was last week. This real talk. Last week, one of my partners, you know, one of the ones that remained after the fallout, because everybody ain't gonna stay with you after the fallout. But one of the ones that remained after the fallout, he say, man, I used to say to myself, man, why he so angry? What he so mad about? Because I would get on there and I would do lives, you know, talk about things. He said, what he was so mad? He said that to me. Why? And he was right, man. Thoroughly pissed off at the world. Don't even know what I'm pissed off about. And all it was, I wasn't being true to myself, my own happiness. I wasn't in the equation. Everybody else was. This is Pastor Fred. I'm a pure-hearted man in a cold-hearted world. I'm not encouraging nobody to lead their responsibilities. I'm saying be responsible for you. Be responsible that you matter. Be responsible for your life. Make sure that you're in the equation. Because if you be selfless and you leave you out of it, nothing else will be left. And you can't be mad at somebody using you all up when you allowed it. I'm going to live my best life because I matter. Can I say something? I ain't used to dance. I'm dancing now. I ain't used to sing as much. I'm singing now. I didn't used to laugh as much. I'm laughing now. Said, well, dog, he didn't do all that. He didn't used to. No, I didn't. I didn't matter. I tried to be the best example. And what I was becoming was a statue and a relic as if I had already died. But I found out Jesus ain't told me to die. He had already died for me. That I might live. And that I might have eternal life. That's the type of God we serve. That's the type of God that's responsible for us. My wife says she loves me. That's the type of God you serve. So now, if y'all see Pastor Gooden, he dancing, you better jump in. You see me singing? Jump in. You see my tattoos? Hey, I'm going to live life for me and serve God with gladness. This is Pastor Fred. I'm a cold-hearted man, pure-hearted world. Peek in here and tell these people you, yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, baby. But I'm still all yours.
Yeah.
I love you, too. Hey, people. She loves me.
I gotta go.
Bye.
Shut that thing off.